Today is July 20th, little midweek episode here as we wait for the Yankees to start a fun and scary 6-game stretch as it may determine what they do at the deadline. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old Jomboy Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steaming hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy Jake. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, brought to you by DraftKings. My name is Jimmy, his name is Jake, and in the corner we got producer BBD. It's episode number 628 of Talkin' Yanks. How about that? That's pretty crazy. Jake, how are you doing?
James, Big Baby David, everyone live in the chat, and everyone not live doing well, man. Off day yesterday for the Yanks. A lot going on. Jimmy's first night in his new house, everybody. Love making. And yeah, man, I don't know. It's still this weird post All-Star break where we did so much, and then you go right into a Red Sox series with all the Covey stuff, and it's on the weekend that, you know, we haven't had a regular weeknight 7 p.m. baseball game in a minute. So I'm pretty excited for that. And these Phillies games, you know I hate the 2-game interleaguers because just it feels like nothing gets resolved and, you know, both teams would handshake with a split. But, man, I think these Philly games are important because Red Sox and Tampa, the more I think about those games, those are going to be tough.
The more I think about the Red Sox and Tampa games, the more I think the Yankees are going to treat these Phillies games the same way they treated the Tiger series. And we're going to get into that at the end of the episode, a little bit of lineup guesses and rotation guesses.
Biggest guess the lineup episode we've ever had. Stay tuned.
Yes. But, so I'm a little more very worried about these two against Philly, as I do think these next 6 games, the 2 against Philly and the 4 against the Red Sox, drastically change the types of trades this team is going to make, where I don't think they're going to trade for a single guy that's a rental or even a year, this year plus another year. That's Gallo, right? Like just...
So you think it's rentals only then?
No.
Okay.
I think it's multiple year guys that barely help
it is
this year.
Gallo types.
No.
You're saying they won't even go for guys who will just help next year also. Like it would be like you need people more than this year next year.
And not studs. It's more the Drury type where we're gonna have him for 3 years and he might be
Tim Castro.
Yes.
Okay.
Better bat than Lo Castro and multiple players. And they're going to say, you know, these guys may help us this year, but at least we got them for the next 2 or 3 as well.
Gotcha.
That's the lane I think we're going to land in. Now, if they go 6 for 6 and then they beat up the Rays as well, or even, you know, win, how many? It's 8 games and 3 against the Rays, so 11. They go 7 for 11 here somehow with this squad.
Right.
Then maybe the Gallos are on the board, in my opinion, where they're like, yeah, we're going to get a guy that's going to help a lot this year, and the main reason we're getting him is to help this year. I don't think we're close to that right now.
Well, and I think that just shows the importance that you're saying the difference in this next week of baseball is Brian Cashman trading for a Brandon Drury type or trading for a Joey Gallo type. And that's where I do think they'll treat these Philly games slightly different. If they can, we're going to talk about the pitching a little bit, so they might not be able to treat these Phillies games all that different. Although,
Amburgey officially on the IL. Oh my God. They've called up Florial because he's the only position player on the 40-man.
Look at after all that. That's funny.
We had a long conversation pre-show about Florial.
Boone kind of danced around saying they didn't want to bring Florial up because they don't want to rush him. I think Florial will get the Park treatment and just not play. They didn't want to call Park up. It was very clear they didn't want to call him up, and it's even more clear now they're acting like they don't want to play him. And I think Florial and Park will just be bench pieces until there's health.
Seen Florial 2 MLB games. He gets a hit.
Yeah.
1 for 3 in both of them. I'm interested to see because with the Red Sox and Tampa series coming up, two of the better teams in baseball this year, and Phillies, I mean, they're positioned eerily similar to the Yankees right now, except in a lesser division. Man, if they win the two against the Phillies, that allows you to go 3-4 against Boston and Tampa, and you survived it. Because after the trade deadline, the schedule does clear up a little bit. But, man, if you get knocked in this Philly series, like, again, they're just doing the tight wire app, high wire act. I don't want to say the name. We won't say the name. We're having a nice day today. But high wire act, and the Phillies could be the breeze that blows it over.
Yeah.
Or they could be the stick that helps you do it, from what I've seen.
Or God.
Hey, what was that reference to?
Nick Wallenda.
Come on.
You did it. You know you did.
I kind of did.
When I hear the word tightrope, I actually think of that song by, what's her name, Janelle
Monáe?
Love
her.
You got the tip on the tightrope. Just dancing all cool in the video. Tip on the tightrope.
Sounded like it.
It's a good song.
Where could you bet on the next Nick Wallenda falling prop bet?
That seems mean-spirited. Falling to his death or just falling?
No, falling in love.
Oh.
With God again.
You can bet it for that. I think DraftKings might start having those available. We'll see. Do they put odds? If Nick Wallenda wants to tightrope walk across the Grand Canyon again, can DraftKings put odds on that?
Why not?
Yeah, I'd assume they could put a line out.
Well,
on like
how about they do like
time it takes.
It seems
Maybe
morally
not what
corrupt
we're
for him
thinking.
to be falling to his death and everyone cheering at a bar.
Maybe you don't have to bet on that. Maybe it's like how quickly does he get across, or how many times does he say Jesus?
The word Jesus in it. Why are we talking about this guy?
BBD brought him up, and now it's kind of like...
Well, right now, DraftKings is not doing Nick Wallenda's shit. They are doing Olympics. America, the top athletes are in Tokyo competing for the gold. DraftKings has a medal-worthy offer just for our listeners. Wow. Huge. If you hear this anywhere else, let us know. Place any pre-event wager of $1 to be eligible to cash $100 in free credits if America wins any medals this year. They got to win one. Not even gold. We're just talking any medal. They should change it to gold. Who cares about the others? Place any pre-event wager of $1. I take that back. I do care about the others. Sometimes you get silver. That doesn't mean you're a failure.
Oh, dude, silver would be really cool. Depends circumstance.
Okay.
If that was your one shot, then you're like...
What if you're going up against the best in the history of the world?
What if you're just like young though? Like in the next one, it's like, okay, I got the silver.
Yeah.
There's some sports where like you're kind of only really going to get one shot.
Right.
Silver hurts.
Could be a little
Still
bit
cool
of a
to go to the
bummer.
Olympics and come back with silver.
I know there's.
I don't want those people to be ashamed. Like it doesn't matter.
No,
they
but
shouldn't
in
be.
the moment, that could be tough.
Like I know
If that's your one shot, your one opportunity.
Oh, you're not celebrating on the podium.
Opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better.
They say there's like that thing with like bronze winners come out much happier than silver winners.
I feel like Rucco used to tweet about
Maybe.
Eminem all the time, and he's kind of pulled back on that. We should give him a little bump.
Okay. Well, download the top rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOMBOY when you sign up to turn $1 into $100 in free credits if America wins a medal. About as easy as it's going to get there. That's code JOMBOY to turn $1 into $100 in free credits for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or PA only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in Indiana. 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Eminem and our kind of deal.
Similar. Let's go to the sharp stats because this is going to be
Yes.
uplifting.
Hey guys, what's up? Sharp Stats. I'm here after a nice All-Star break. Alright, so a few weeks ago we talked about cluster luck as one of the reasons why the Yankees weren't scoring a lot of runs because basically they just weren't sequencing their hits very well. And so related to that is something that I want to talk about today, and I think that's basically the cause of it, is the black holes in the Yankees lineup. So what's a black hole? So what I did is I looked at the Yankees production at each position in the order, so first, second, third, cleanup, whatever, and then I compared that to other teams' cleanup hitters, number 3 hitters, number 6 hitters, whatever. And then what I defined as a black hole is being 15% worse than league average in OPS. So, did all that, did all the math, crunch, and the Yankees have 3 lineup order positions that are worse than 15% of the league average.
6th.
In OPS. And those lineup positions, 1st, 4th, and 6th. Yeah, that's basically the definition of a rally killer. But I went a little bit further. I wanted to look at it in terms of in Yankee history. How many times have they ever had 3 lineup positions that have been 15% worse than league average in OPS? Now we're comparing to the league average, so this is going to kind of, say for all the different eras. So I just looked at in the DH era though, because, 9-1 pitchers were hitting, that doesn't really count. And only 2 other times in the DH era have the Yankees had 3 of these black hole lineup order positions. That was in 2013 and 1990. And folks, you don't ever want to be compared to anything in Yankees history that has to do with 2013 and 1990. Look it up. All right. Talk to you guys next week.
I like that. It's a great addition to the cluster luck stat we heard from last Sharp Stats when Katie called in, and she said that, grouping all your good hitters together is actually beneficial.
Yeah.
In a much smarter, more scientist, data-driven way. So when you find out that the 3 batting orders that you have really bad hitters, 15% below league average. If I were to show you a league average slash line right now, if you were to show the average fan the league average slash line, they'd say, that dude sucks. Yeah. Can you find that?
I can get somewhere around that. The easiest example we have as of right now is that Rougned Odor has a 103 OPS plus right now. So in OPS standards, Rougned Odor has been a better than league average hitter. To get batting average on base,
241. So it's right now, and right now the average slash line is a 241 batting average, a 316 on base percentage, a 404 slugging, and a 720 OPS. That's the league average. So if you were to look at those stats, you'd be like, that guy's not really having a great year.
No.
And we're talking the Yankees have 3 spots in the order that are 15% below that. And the spots are 1, 4, and 6.
Yeah.
So you're taking away all the cluster goodness. I mean, you got, if the 2 and 3 hitters combine for a hit and a home run, the 5-hole hitters on an island.
Trapped.
Do our 5-hole hitters have any RBIs or runs scored?
None.
Because there's none, 0.
0.
And then, the 6-hole hitter, we've talked about that a lot. That's where they put on purpose their bad hitter because they'd rather stretch the lineup out and put a better hitter 7 and a worse hitter 6, which is bizarre. Yeah, that's not good.
That is not good. Man, makes sense. It's felt like that. And yeah, I know one of these episodes we stumbled into this idea a little bit. I think I was going rank the positions by OPS so far this year. And yeah, it's 6-1-4. Our 6 hitters this year, my God. If you're batting 6 for the New York Yankees this year, you're hitting 185 with a 255 on base and a 601 OPS.
Bad.
Bad.
That's so bad.
The 4-hole is one of the black holes, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
So Stanton is the guy you think of there. I think he has an 871 OPS in the 4-hole this year, so it's literally any time it's been someone besides him. So just so people don't.
Yeah,
He's been
been
slid
bad
up
lately,
for a
though.
while.
it's been.
This past series he was second.
Gio got the same amount of at-bats there, basically. Gio's got 128 at-bats in the 4-hole, and Stanton has 137. And then Glaber has 48. I think what's happening in the 4-hole, because none of them are atrocious, is that the other 4-hole hitters across the league are good.
Right.
They're like above average. They're like good. You know?
They're one of the 3 best players on
a
their
guy
team.
on the opposing team.
Yeah.
Is their 4-hole hitter. And yeah, I feel what it was for a little bit, it was, since the 4-hole spot's been kind of missing, it was whoever got hot lower in the lineup, like got shot up. Like, oh, Gio's been pretty good. Should we bat him 4? And then I think they've gone into a funk from there. So,
or at least didn't
it's a tough
keep
formula.
that up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it all makes sense, but those are the old Yankees, you know. We've got a new squad here.
Whole new squad, a lot of new faces. And I heard someone say we were at the stadium on, what was that, Thursday? No, Sunday. I have no idea what day anything is. Because the All-Star game felt like a weekend, but it was actually a Monday and a Tuesday. So I've been messed up since then. But I heard someone at the stadium say Greg Allen's the best of all these rookies that just got called up.
Yeah, sure is.
And I was like, ooh, okay. So there's a lot of new faces, and I think we wanted to do like meet the Yankees a little bit.
Yeah.
We can put some time on the clock, but you know, we're talking about how this is a somewhat important stretch here coming up, and some of the names, mom and dad, grandma, sister, brother, cousin that don't watch every day, you might have to let them know who these guys are.
I would.
Yes.
Grab your mom. Grab your cousins, all of them. And say, hey, I just sent you some cushy dreams. It's 100% legal, Mom. Get off my ass. Let's learn about who the new Yankees are while we all enjoy cushy dreams. Now, Jim, when you're learning about these new Yankees, would you rather relax, create, hustle, be peaceful, have energy, or dream?
I'd rather create and dream together.
Okay, so
Like-
you can do that.
Like we're going to create dreams.
You can do that. Is that the 2 we have? God, it's so good today, Nick Walenda. Go to cushydreams.com. Yeah, I guess you could just put that in a bowl and light it up on fire. We love Cushy Dreams. You guys know they've been with us for a little while.
Pre-rolled joints and little tins of eighths.
They got the eighths right there. And, man, they've been so cool. Try it out. Like, it can change your life. It can help you sleep. It can help you relax. If you got some pains and aches, CBD, it's the real deal. And Cushy Dreams has been with us for a while now. Promo code YANKS, 20% off your next order as you learn about these new Yanks.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. So I'll go through. I want to land on Allen and LaMarre because I think those are the most interesting conversations. We were going to do Trey Amburgey. He's been on the show before. His name is actually Tommy Wayne Amburgey III.
Right,
so they call him Trey, and he was teammates with Trey Turner in high school, the 2 Treys.
Go listen to that old interview.
He joined us in the middle of the offseason.
Yeah. And it actually, I shouldn't be as surprised. It's a good interview, but some of the stuff was pretty eye-opening, like about the Yankees organization and some of the communication stuff. And Trey Amburgey's like, yeah, I haven't heard it from anyone in like 8 months.
Yeah.
We're like, what?
Yeah.
How is that not one guy's job to check in on dudes?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, well, I think the episode before we were just talking, we found out they were teammates, the 2 Treys, and we like started romanticizing that, and then we just DM'd him and said, "Do you want to come on?" So
And I
that's the
think
fun one. But he's hurt now, so
The
he's gone.
biggest thing about Trey Amburgey was his chin. Maybe the most powerful chin I've seen on a baseball field. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Chris Gittens, he's been up. You saw him in spring training, hard hitting. Chris Gittens, he is 27 years old. He's from Sherman, Texas. He hit his first big league home run in Buffalo. Actually, he almost hit the first one. They called it a home run. Then it was foul. Then he hit his next one. I think you kind of know who he is. He's got raw power, and he's going to play first for a little bit.
It's kind of, if we're being honest, it's probably righty Mike Ford. We know what the Yankees like. When Chris Gittens connect with it, it goes. He also takes a lot of walks. When he's not doing one of those two things, yeah.
Looks like he was teammates with Kyle Crick
Ooh.
Pirates relief pitcher.
Wow.
Trade for Crick.
Crick in the neck.
Hoy June Park. How do you say the June? Is it June? Is it Jun?
I believe it's June. I'll see if they have the pronunciation. They don't have it in there.
Yeah. Hoy Jun Park? Hoy Jin Park? Hoy June Park?
He also told beat reporters he can go by Hoy Park.
Oh. Hoy Park.
But we're a name pod, so we want to get it right.
He's from South Korea. The Yankees drafted him, I believe. In the South Korean players get drafted early. They're not different. They like Choi came over when he was like 17.
Right.
Like out of high school, they just get drafted. I'm trying to find that.
He was signed as an amateur free agent, so he wasn't drafted. Signed as an amateur free agent in 2014.
Yes.
So that's pretty crazy when you think about it. He's been part of the New York Yankees for 7 years.
Yes. At 19 years old.
There's some scout that is so fingers crossed that he gets an actual chance. Can you imagine?
Well,
You're the South Korean Yankee scout and you sign a kid 7 years ago?
Yeah.
Like the odds of that clicking are very thin. And that's not a shot. That's just numbers.
He's been a middle infielder his whole time from 2015 to 2019. Hoy Park has been a middle infielder. A lot of games at shortstop and second base. It looks like from the start, they've rotated him at both and not just one or the other. Recently, they started playing him in the outfield a little bit this year because he was hitting really well, and the Yankees don't have any outfielders. And he never it's a slow progression, his offensive stats. And I know looking at minor league offensive stats is kind of a dumb task.
Tricky.
But like his first year where they were above average is 2018 at high A. And then in 2019 at double A, good stats, but nothing amazing. Good eye. But he took 2020 off, obviously, as every minor leaguer did. In 2021, he's been going crazy. Just absolutely nuts. In AAA this year, 325 batting average, 475 on base percentage, and a 541 slugging for a 1. OPS in AAA with 8 homers, 8 doubles, 6 stolen bases. How many walks? Because that on base percentage is high. 43 walks in 157 at bats or 206 plate appearances.
More walks than strikeouts.
Yeah.
Something like those other years he said where he was like good. It was like his second year at those levels. But AAA is his first time there.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And I think the other thing of note there is, and we did this a little bit on the recap episode, Chris Gittins is 27. He's a day younger than Rougned Odor. Park is 25. And again, 2020, that probably would have been a pivot year for him. You know, if he got a full season of run and he looked like the Park that we're seeing this year in AAA, like there would be some bigger conversations about him, but that's all part of this season is that, you know, guys in baseball break out at different points. So, yeah, when you look at his minor league numbers, you're kind of like, okay, you know, he's gotten on base at a good rate, plays a little middle infield. That's a formula to make it to the major leagues. If he found a little pop, whether that was during the COVID year or got a little older, got a little old man strength in him, I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, a left-handed hitter that if he can play middle infield and outfielder, that's a way to have a MLB career, but it does seem like the Yankees are going to be gun-shy to play him.
Yeah, they seem gun-shy. It's not a lot of time at AAA. Cashman has a lot of quotes out there about overexposing guys and calling them up too quick and then ruining their development. He is 25, and it's been a while. My thoughts are with Gio gone and DJ's ability to play first base and third, like they could have started him. They haven't. They got him, gave him one pinch hit at bat. And if Gio, we know Gio's vaccinated, so if he gets 2 rapid tests and can come back before the 10 days, I think Park just right back down and keep killing it at AAA. So I wish they would give him some run. I'm not pining for it like some fans are because who knows? Who knows any of this? But it seems like the Yankees aren't planning on giving him a ton of run.
Yeah, and so Amburgey just goes down with the injury, right?
And Florial up.
So Florial's up. So right now the bench, depending a given day, would be Brantley, Florial, Park, and LaMarre /Wade/Greg Allen. So there's a lot of names there. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the COVID guys come back. And because you're right, Jim. If Gio Urshela gets activated tomorrow, is Park the guy that goes down?
At some point, they got to DFA all these guys.
Well, not Park.
They don't have to. If you were up for a 40-man guy, you don't have to go through waivers or whatever to go back down for COVID stuff.
But you're still on the 40-man.
I think they're technically not on the 40-man, or they don't have to do the same waiver rules to come off it because they're on for a COVID guy.
Okay, that's huge. Because
it would really suck for them if now, like Ambergey's got to get DFA'd next week. It would really suck.
Right.
Yeah. 19, 20, I'm counting. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. They have 50 guys on the 40-man roster right now. So that's why
that's including 60 guys who are already on the
60s
team
as well.
today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's see. There's only one of those? No, there's three.
Sevy, Kluber, Hicks.
3.
O'Day, is he moved over yet? Or does that give them a move?
There's 4. O'Day and Locastro can both be moved over. So that gets it down.
A spot available whenever they want.
Okay. Well, if O'Day and Locastro get moved over and they already have 4 on the 60-man, that's 6, which means they're at 44 guys. And hopefully those are all COVID replacements like Amburgey and Park.
Brantley,
and they don't have to get DFA'd. This is really inside roster baseball. I'm probably losing a lot of people. But usually if you get called up and you get put on the 40-man, there's only 2 ways off the 40-man. DFA or trade.
Yeah.
Or retire.
That's off that team. You'd still be on the 40-man for the next team. If they traded you.
So it would make sense that for COVID replacements, they don't have to go through that. Otherwise, Amburgey would be fucked.
You go from really good luck
some
to
players
the
do
worst.
see that as an opportunity.
You go get picked up somewhere else. Yeah.
I don't think the group the Yankees have a lot of people that would call immediately offering them a 40-man spot. So it would be bad.
All right, so that's Hoy Park. And maybe he starts playing, maybe not. The other 2 guys that I'm saving for last because they're not rookies.
Rob Brantley, Talkin Yanks' biggest fan and hype video extraordinaire. Go follow him on Instagram. Best friend.
Might remember his nice spring training.
BBD said there's a good chance he might play against Philly because you'd save Gary for the Red Sox series.
All the Red Sox.
Interested to see how they treat that.
Yeah, I'm excited to get to this Philly game
Rays.
because I think it's going to get ugly. Okay, Greg Allen and Ryan LaMarre. There's 2 reasons I save these guys for last. 1, neither of them are rookies. Neither of them are prospects. Neither of them come from the Yankee system. 2, I really want one of them to be the left fielder until they trade for an outfield. I really want one of them to shine, help the Yankees get into a spot where they trade for Joey Gallo or an outfielder-esque Marte or whatever that can help them secure that second wild card or even further. I know that's the little delusional brain talking, but Andujar and Clint weren't giving us anything in left field at all. And when they were giving us something, it was just offense.
Yes.
We've seen Greg Allen and we've seen Ryan LaMarre in short, tiny spurts, but they have MLB careers, and they're stealing, and they're hitting and run, and they're hitting sac flies, and they're making nice plays on defense.
And maybe,
so I'd like one of these guys to stick for the next 2 weeks.
And maybe this is a nice way to tie it in, Jim, with the Trey Amburgey stuff and the 40-man stuff. That does get deep cut MLB, but these guys are now in that cycle. Ryan LaMarre is 32. He is going to play with his hair on fire when he has a chance to play with the New York Yankees, and we've seen that. He's played all 3 outfield positions already because of injuries.
He already has 2 walks and a stolen base.
He's 32 years old. He came up in 2015. He has played 123 MLB career games. Our Trevor Plouffe, who does a ton of stuff with us, he was teammates with him. I think we asked him, and I don't think he said this off the record, but he was like, Ryan LaMarre's he's a guy. He's not going to lose you a game. He's not going to win you too many games, but he's a guy. So we'll see what that looks like. Greg Allen was a dude that when he came up, I think Cleveland was pretty excited for him. They kind of gave him 2 years to really play. He played 91 games in 2018, 89 games in 2019. Good speed. He had 21 stolen bases in 2018. The offensive numbers were never truly there, so that's when you wonder what Greg Allen's been going through the past couple years, because once you hit that 40-man cycle of baseball, Greg Allen is kind of like an open fifth outfielder for every major league team. So if this is his chance to get an opportunity to run around and catch fly balls and make it happen, that would be awesome. And
Put together 2 good weeks at the plate.
And like you're saying, as you heard from the stands, I mean, he's played 224 major league games. Like, that's significant. And he's 28. So Greg Allen's probably the one you'd circle, like, if someone could stick and make it happen and have things click a little more, you'd think he'd be the guy.
With Tilo, like, out, he slides into that role well, and he can bat lefty. And the Yankees did in the offseason, like, trade for him. Like,
right.
The Padres needed the 40-man spot. Yankees took him, but they gave up something.
I like that as a spin, BBD.
It's like they kind of like him. They DFA'd him when they needed the spot for, I forget who, but they DFA'd him during spring, but got him back. So they at least half, like, genuinely like him.
There's something there.
Can I tell you, between the two of these guys, Greg Allen and Ryan LaMarre, they have a combined 20 plate appearances in this season as Yankees. 3 games for Allen and 4 games for LaMarre. And LaMarre was obviously, this was earlier as well. In those 20 plate appearances, combined, they have 2 stolen bases, 3 walks, a homer, 3 RBIs, a double, and 5 hits. Smallest of smallest sample sizes, but like speed and defense don't take off. So if they can hit at the same clip that Clint was hitting at, or they're better.
Right, because they can play MLB defense. That's why they're still in the cycle.
Yeah.
Very much. Even if they make a move at the deadline for starter level players, they're not out of place on an MLB bench.
Okay, I've got a couple interesting things that I think we need to clear up.
Where are they from?
So Ryan LaMarre, pretty cool name. He's from Michigan, a Michigan man, University of.
He fits the bill.
His name everywhere it's listed is Ryan M. LaMarre. I did some digging. It looks like it's Michael, but almost every MLB Baseball Reference, they just have it as M, period. So we need to know more about that. And not to get
Michael, yeah.
Not to get myself more on the Greg Allen train, his middle name is Lomac, which is just like, that's a dude's name.
Lomac.
Greg Lomac.
I know nothing about the varsity letters situation.
Sure.
Do you just get, in high school, you just get a varsity letter if you play for that varsity team?
If you're on the varsity
like
team, you get a letter. You lettered for that team.
So Ryan LaMarre, Lomac, had
Who are you talking about?
Lomac's not Lamar's nickname?
Greg Allen is Greg Lomac Allen.
Where's the Lomac?
So now we've got Lomac and LaMarre.
What's Lomac come from?
That's just a badass middle name.
That's Greg Allen's middle name.
Yo, I hope you can see my confusion. LaMarre, Lomac is what I thought was happening.
That's why we're in this conversation. That's how we got here.
LaMarre earned 12 varsity letters in high school.
Okay, so that's kind of like,
he was a 4-year starter
that's
in one
not the
sport.
max. Well, I guess if you can play
Max would be 14.
sports.
There's only 3 seasons.
Right. There's some schools that do BS-y stuff. Like if you grew up in Kansas, they probably
Baseball,
let you play
football,
2
and
games.
hockey.
And that's
So you think he got 4 in baseball?
I would lean
4 in
that
each?
He got credit for
4
every
in baseball.
year of each.
4 in each.
4 in baseball. Yeah, we're Matt.
So freshman. So when he was a freshman in high school, he was on the varsity baseball, football, and hockey team.
Well, what's 4 times 3? That's 12.
12.
And that's how many he got.
Okay.
So he's varsity.
So
for all.
yeah.
And At Michigan
up.
high school, that's not.
Fuck that guy. Freshman year is varsity every sport he
The
plays.
stud.
Damn.
And we talk about this all the time. Like J Hap's the best athlete in the history of his high school, probably.
And you'd say
Ryan Lamar's
if
probably
you're
the best
guessing a
athlete.
loophole, I mean, it's maybe you played varsity hockey as a freshman, right?
Yeah, but I didn't play varsity in any other sport.
Right, but
Starting
let's
starting
now,
line too.
Let's now be who Ryan LaMarre is. I mean, he's
He's
playing
also in-
MLB baseball.
he's
so
also in
probably,
Michigan.
He was probably pretty good at that. So we could give him 4 years there pretty easily. And then football, he's probably quick. They gave him a couple punt returns to see like what he was made of. Like he
They
knew
let
he
him
was going to.
dress for varsity.
They knew he was
games.
going to be the future of the team. So you give him the letter.
He set the school record for home runs with 38.
Heads up.
Was an all-state 3 times in baseball. In football, he won 2 state titles and made it to 3 state titles. He compiled 339 tackles. In hockey, he won all-state honors twice and was team captain and MVP in his final 2 seasons. He's the all-time assist leader with 96 and second in scoring with 176. I mean, he owned the high school.
Yeah.
Like every single season,
He's a
he
New
was the
York Yankee.
best player at his high school, no matter the sport.
All sports
Usually,
he
like
played.
the best football player, might be friends with the best baseball player. Lamar's like, that's me.
I'm both.
They look at usually they.
It's tough to quantify in football. I mean, some linemen, LaMarre couldn't do what they were doing,
He's doing his job very well.
Is he a safety just like Talkman?
You'd like to
Yeah.
think so,
That's so funny.
because they're the
Like
same.
Mikey T. It's related. Have you done a Google image search of Ryan LaMarre?
No.
Interesting.
I would appreciate it if you did that. Look at that picture of him in presumably the on deck circle, no helmet. Hot.
Oh, wow.
Very hot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that guy also beat you up.
Yeah.
And you accept.
If you want to show the screen this guy is the senior. It's Harvey from Boy Meets World. I don't know if anyone Boy Meets World, but this dude beat up Corey in between classes.
Yeah.
And rode a motorcycle to
It's a
school.
great look. The scruff really does a lot for him. He's hurting being on the Yankees. Like Talkman, it was more of a play to go clean shave.
Yeah, in that Google search you can see his Yankees headshot. He looks too nice.
So that's Ryan LaMarre. He was the best ever at his high school.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he's probably got a plaque somewhere.
Definitely. Baseball fields probably named
or they're
after
waiting
him.
till after he officially retires and
Baseball field's got to be named after him.
Definitely.
There he is. Nice glow up for him, huh?
Yeah. I mean, kids, if you're one of I can only help the young boys here. Flip that hair up. If you're
Expose the
if
forehead.
you're just letting it ride and keeping it down, flip that hair up. It's gonna do wonders for you. Just get it out of your face there.
It's one of the bigger glow ups from minor leagues to major leagues. Trevor Plouffe would love this.
It's a good one. Trevor Plouffe probably knows the guy on the right.
That is that's a boy, and then the man that bullied him.
And on the other side of things, Greg Allen, only 4 varsity baseball letters.
Oh my God, Greg!
Actually, timeout. It's just later in the article. He played for Coach Kirk Gritz.
Wow.
He was the Mesa League Player of the Year as a senior when he hit 470. Let's see. He also compiled a 3-2 record and 2 saves, 2.18 ERA in high school for Greg Allen. I wouldn't have pegged him as the pitching.
I don't know if
type. He's a
LaMarre
little
could
guy.
pitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
LaMarre did pitch for the Red Sox. So
Okay.
obviously they didn't choose that before the game. But
So this is a little red flag for me. At the end of his high school, Greg Allen. Well, he went to San Diego State, so this is where this is from. It says competed for the Hilltop football squad as a senior.
Competed for the Hilltop. So just try it out.
I don't know.
Because that sentence can also be written, didn't
Just
make
went
the team.
to some practices.
You competed for a minor league team.
Yeah, I sure did.
Yeah.
And little Talkin Giants ad here. It looks like his cousin was Dwayne Patman, who played football at Michigan. So we've got another Michigan connection, this time from Greg Allen, and he played for the New York Football Giants.
Wow.
So Bobby's going to be all sorts of excited.
Does Baseball Reference usually has this weird page where you can find weird connections.
Weird
science. I think it's, I don't know how to get there, but I just usually Google, it's like Baseball Reference Oracle.
Oracle, yes. But I don't think they even have what I want. Like, I want to see, like, has Greg Allen and Ryan LaMarre ever played against each other? They have had
they
to.
connect teammates to people.
Yeah, they connect teammates when obviously they're teammates right now. But they've had to have played against each other because, I don't know, because there's not a lot of games.
You might be able to do a...
In 17, they were both in the AL, but LaMarre only played 3 games.
BBD, you're recruited.
They played against each other because in 18, LaMarre played 43 games for the Twins, and Allen played 91 for the Indians.
There had to have been an overlap.
They had to, yeah. I wonder if they've ever gotten each other out in the outfield.
BBD and Jim, you're getting recruited.
Yeah.
San Diego State, Indiana, Fresno State, Iowa, UC Irvine, and New Mexico. Where are you going?
Say them one more time.
Yes.
San Diego State,
Yeah.
Indiana, Fresno State, Iowa, UC Irvine, and New Mexico.
Iowa or, like, San Diego State's the obvious answer for everyone. Should choose that because of party school. But I wouldn't
I really like San Diego.
I wouldn't have graduated, and I don't like San Diego weather. So, like, for me, I think I'm taking Indiana.
I do like San Diego weather, so I would take it.
It's a hot take. Yeah, it's.
I like seasons.
It's funny that they listed.
I don't think I want to live there long term, but if it's going for college, I'll get 4 years of that.
I would have never graduated. I knew friends that went to San Diego, and I just wouldn't have made it out of there.
You'd have been great on the baseball
would've.
field, though.
Yeah,
You'd
you're
really
smarter
got
than
out of
me.
there.
No, I'm just
Sexual.
I was gonna make a don't have friends joke.
So these are the new Yankees.
So there's your new Yankees.
One more Ryan LaMarre update. Trevor Plouffe, longtime wearer of number 24 for the Minnesota Twins. The first person to wear it after they separated from Trevor was Jaime Garcia for his one game as a Twin. So that's funny. And then the next guy to wear it, the first position player after, was Ryan LaMarre. I think it was after their time shared in Oakland. So maybe now Trev doesn't even realize he has beef with him.
That'll be interesting to bring up. I'm going down like a stupid Google search to see if they've ever flied out to each other, which doesn't matter at all, but I thought of it. And I think it'd be just an
Found a
interesting
game.
clip to be
Nice
like, here's
moment.
Greg Allen flying out to Ryan LaMarre in 2018. And everyone's like, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I
nobody
don't-
in the audience find and tweet that.
I don't
We're going to
care.
get that.
Yeah, I'm on like a big hunt, so it's bad. I don't like my life.
I'd assume that's before a StatCast time when it would have been easy, or it's easy to do it on Savant.
That was hyperbole and misleading. I do like my life. I've been very happy lately.
House, baby.
House, baby.
company.
And you know what I started doing? I started daydreaming about fall. And my favorite time of the year isn't fall. It's the weeks before fall or months
Thinking
before
about
when I
fall.
can
You're
think
an
about fall.
anticipation guy.
Like I started daydreaming about my backyard and it turning colors and like throwing on a sweatshirt and doing some yard work around the house because that's like kind of my dad did growing up.
Yeah.
And then Halloween in the town, everyone goes crazy for it. And then,
QB Halloween was filmed there.
so I am happy lately.
Look at that.
Just thinking about fall. It's legal at this point to start daydreaming about it. It's still a month and a half away, but that's totally legal to start.
With
think
the
so.
move,
I
you're
think so.
you're getting it a few weeks earlier.
Yeah, the move does help.
than you
Yeah.
It's a
normally
great call,
would.
BBD.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
The move-
I think I would.
Otherwise,
throw
I
out
would
the
say
X,
I
but
would
it's
say
a new
wait a month.
environment.
The trade deadline
It's
is
a new
usually when I start
environment.
dreaming of.
Right.
Right
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
New environment. Receive the catch counts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say mid-August, generally speaking, the move accelerates that.
So what else do we want to do?
I just told Bobby about Dwayne Patman. And it's Greg Allen's cousin. He's getting run on the Yankees, and he said, "Right on."
Yeah.
So
Let's go.
huge for Talkin Giants.
Okay. So you want to do anything else?
Well, I think we got to guess the lineup. And I think, you know who might help us do that, Jim?
Who's that?
Manscaped.
Manscaped is everywhere. They're cleaning everyone up, man.
Big time. I mean, they're talking about the Olympics, the Euros, baseball, couple major championships, golf, concerts they even throw in there. We don't talk about those enough on here.
No, I mean, concerts have kind of been suppressed. I've been listening to music a lot.
On 3, what do you think Ryan LaMarre's first concert was? 1, 2, 3, some
Kid
for
Rock.
anyone.
Detroit. It's from Michigan.
Okay.
All summer
Like
long,
that.
Kid Rock. Kind of
Works.
rite of passage for a young He's older. Though.
And
He's our
before
age.
he went, he shaved his balls.
Yeah, of course he did.
Because you go to a Kid Rock concert in Michigan, there's a chance your balls are coming out. And if you want your balls coming out, you better go to Manscaped. Make sure they're clean. You don't want to be the one with your balls out and then everyone's like, that's gross, dude. Trim it up with Manscaped.
Lawnmower 4.0.
Yeah. 2 million men worldwide are using it. Wow, that's pretty good. Treat your pubes like the Olympic gold. It's a good way to live. If you do that, you're going to have a well-maintained downstairs, and other people in your life will appreciate it. Use promo code YANKS at manscaped.com. It's 20% off and free shipping. And it, improves. It looks better. Your dick and balls.
I was hurt. I got better.
I got better.
You made me better. That's a quote from the movie Seabiscuit. Red Pollard really wants to race on his favorite horse, Seabiscuit, again. He was hurt. So was Seabiscuit. Owner was really nervous to let him ride. He had to go to Iceman, George, jockey, get his advice. He said, you know what I think? It's better to break a man's leg than his heart. Let him ride.
And then he stopped talking.
He is a quiet guy. You want to guess the lineup? You want to do pitching
With
stuff?
age.
Because this Philly stuff is going to be
There's a lot
bizarre.
of lineup stuff going on. An early pitching path to victory, which you can check out more on the pregame show coming up at 4 p.m.-ish when the lineups come out.
We have no idea who is pitching tomorrow thus far.
Right.
I think they're going to call up Davey, even though he's been awful and they don't really have faith in him, because they want to set their 4 best pitchers up for Boston. Their 4 best pitchers, they don't even have 4 of them. They have 3. They have Cole, Monty, and Tyone. That's their 3.
I'm being rude to someone right now.
If Nestor's healthy,
Nestor's been good.
well, we don't know if he's healthy.
Right.
That's what I was
Not on
getting
the
to.
roster
If Nestor's healthy, I think they use him for Boston, and they don't even use him for Philly.
Right.
That's what I was getting to. So Nestor's been, those are our top 4. So we don't know if Nestor can come off the IL from COVID or not. But if he could, and he was available to pitch tomorrow, I still don't think they're doing it. I still think they're going to ride Davey and bullpen, which means today, I think it's like Mingo, Litke, Sessa. Tomorrow, Davey, Chad, Loizaga, Britton, Chapman. That's what I think they're going to try to do.
Yeah, I think the only thing where I might disagree from you a little bit is I think they'd be willing to use the good guys. They'd be more willing to use the good guys today than tomorrow to bring a rested bullpen into Boston.
And they're facing the better pitcher, even though he's been poor lately.
Yeah, I mean, Nola, he's been very good against us. He's in a tough stretch right now. They are facing Matt Moore tomorrow, who if there's a pitcher we can get to, it's him. But, yeah, and Johnny Loizaga, he's joining the team today. It's going to be interesting to see how they use Domingo. You got to think it's 3 innings and then see where you're at and let him ride. But, yeah, I mean, you have a fully rested bullpen, so you could also if you're going to reverse engineer this, and they believe in Chapman right now, Chapman in the 9th, you go Chad in the 8th, Britton, you get an inning out of him, Johnny Loizaga. So, there's 4 innings of guys we like, and a couple of those guys could go 2 if you want to go 2 with Chad or Johnny. So, you can make this half a baseball game if Domingo can go 4. So I think there's a chance they do that. That's obviously if they have the lead. If they don't, couple bodies in the Yankees bullpen right now. Albert Abreu, Brooks Kriske, Nick Nelson, Justin Wilson. I didn't mention Litke before, which he's still kind of... Right now he's a tweener between the naughty list and the nice list. But yeah, and interested to see how that goes down. I think, and unfortunately, because this is where we do agree, it'd be much more important to win the second game and bring that energy into Boston. I think if they win tonight, you could see full punt, which sucks.
Whatever slop guys they don't use tonight.
Davey to Nelson to Kriske to Albert. That could be both days.
Yeah.
I think our dream
It's the other risk you run.
Dream is probably get Mingo through at least 5. 6 would be cool, and hopefully you're up big enough to be able to burn Nelson.
They could use some big leads.
Or they can go, if it's kind of close, they might do Sessa or something.
Could use some big leads. Sessa, yeah, they can.
If they need the game a little bit, you can go to him for some.
Man.
But I also agree with they might be pretty willing to use good guys tonight.
They could piece together a game today if they wanted to, and that's what we'll find out. But early lead, big lead, it's insane how much an early lead or a big lead in one of these games changes the outlook for the next 6 days, which, as we started, is a huge impact on the season.
Did you find the fly out?
June 16th, 2018, Ryan LaMarre flies out to left fielder Greg Allen.
It's a routine.
Yeah.
Let's see.
How did this come about? Did somebody
Ninth
mosey
inning,
on
Twins
down
are
to
up
the dugout
9-3.
and say, hey, anybody interested in
Wearing the
pitching in this
2-4.
game?
Peak bad guy look by LaMarre.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets a hold of it.
See, they're going to put it in place. It's easy.
Greg
It's a
Allen
solid
makes the
catch by Greg
two down.
Allen.
Talk about trying to hit corners, and you have to be perfect throwing pitches. You really
Brandon
don't.
Geyer,
Batting
that was a
practice,
position
they
player
pop it up
pitcher.
and They hit ground balls as well.
How about that?
So Geyer's thrown.
Okay, found it.
Geyer looks much more like Gio than I thought.
Geyer, barely know her.
Excited about that. I found that.
6-run game?
All right,
Someone
so
in the
that
chat did throw that out there a little bit ago, and I forgot to mention it because we were in the middle of an ad.
Well, Jimmy found
But
it. and he
I'm
gets credit
really
for
glad
it
you got to find it.
on his
I was
own.
gonna say, did you see the chat and do a?
he found it before I did.
No.
He didn't
no,
find
no,
it, but he
no.
found a box
No.
score, and I wanted to give him credit for
How'd he
telling
do
us
it?
found Probably,
Tweets-
probably the same way you did, but he wasn't doing a podcast while trying to do it.
Live.
Thanks, PBD. I appreciate that. Tweet me your method. I ended up just using the video search. I just did.
That worked.
I searched for all of Lamar's flyouts from
Against
2017 to 2019 against Cleveland, and then he had 4 of them. One of them
caught
was to
him?
Greg Allen. Yeah. You want to do the lineup tonight?
Tonight's lineup versus Aaron Nola. Okay.
Guess this bad boy.
It should be DJ LeMahieu batting first, playing third, right?
Should. They're facing a righty pitcher for everyone that wants to know that. The righty doesn't, Nola's splits aren't much different against the handedness. He's pretty balanced both ways, but the Yankees will use that because they think that matters, even though they don't have a bunch of lefties. When they do have lefties, they throw them in the 3-hole.
Sure. Stanton 2, right?
Yeah.
He's still been doing that.
Mm-hmm.
DHing.
Odor 3.
You got to think Rugi 3, right?
That's what they've
Big
been doing.
game versus a righty.
Yeah.
He's hot now.
Gary catching and hitting fourth.
Yep. Glaber 5.
Glaber 5 playing short.
Now, this is where it gets fun because are they going to go Gardner 5 because he's a lefty, and now you have your lefties separated, or Gardner 6 because now you separate your lefties, and Gittin 7. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
Who's going to round it out? Allen Is it Allen and LaMarre?
So this is where things will be interesting when the lineup comes out. So the options are LaMarre, Tyler Wade, Park, and Florial. 3 of those guys hit lefty and are facing a right-handed pitcher. The other is Ryan LaMarre, who's also played Major League Baseball. Man,
So
I really
the
wish
outfield's going to be Allen, Gardner, Wade.
I'd like Tyler Wade. I will say this, we've just done a lot on Ryan LaMarre. If you do have these lefties at this point in the season, and Wade kind of deserves it. He's been our best defensive outfielder all year. Let him slap it around.
Wade, not trying to say Wade's been incredible or anything, but he's one of the few guys who's more or less done everything you've asked from him.
No,
Expectations.
Now, if that's what they do, if they go LeMahieu, Stanton, lefty Odor 3, Gary 4, Glaber 5, lefty, I'd put Allen 6. Why is Gardner need to be 6? But they'll put Gardner 6th.
Yeah.
Getting 7, and then it's going to be 2 lefties at the end there, and it's going to be Allen and Wade.
Well, Allen switch so he can.
So you
Stack
put
him
him
with
there, and then they're fine to pinch hit Wade with LaMarre as soon as Nola's out of the game. If they
Right.
bring in a lefty, they're fine to do that. That's my guess.
Park later if you want to do LaMarre against not a righty later.
Yeah, I mean,
Whoever it is. Florial's on the team again, so never mind.
can I present to you a crazy theory?
I would love that.
Can I present to you a mind-numbing question?
Yes.
Any chance they used today, knowing the Boston and Tampa, at Tampa, right?
At Tampa.
At
off
Boston?
day in between.
Okay, but knowing that stretch is coming up, is there any chance that they use it as a double off day, sit Glaber, and play Park at short?
You can't sit Glaber after back-to-back homer games. No,
I know you can't.
That's not. I thought you were going Rob Brantley, and I do think that's in play, which changes the whole dynamic of the lineup.
I don't think that's in play. I also hope to death they don't sit Glaber, but that's their MO. They don't care about hot, and they just care about stretch.
No.
I would say there's 1% chance they do that today.
I'll give you one.
It'd be the most frustrating thing in the world, but they've done that to us a lot. It's not out of character.
To do that to Glaber Torres after his first half would be the worst thing they've ever done as an organization.
Finally.
Would be a worst thing they've ever done as an organization.
I think they did that to Didi a bunch back in 2019.
Worst thing they've ever done as an organization.
But yeah.
Confirming Tampa is a road series.
Turf.
For the audience.
So, all right, are we in agreement then? The outfield's going to be Allen, Gardy, Wade?
And they love Wade off the bench so much. I mean, that last outfield spot, I just have no idea. I
there's a
could see them go
chance-
Florial. Florial had a start this year.
That's what I was going to say.
And that's
'cause
the better-
the Boone quotes that we alluded
That
to.
would be the Yankee
he
move.
talked about how he's happy Florial's getting regular at bats in AAA.
That
right
would
now.
be the Yankee move, kind of saying how much Florial isn't ready, and then he gets to start tonight. That would be the
start against Aaron Nola.
Would they put Florial in center then, move Gardy to left, and put Allen in right?
I think they've been
Probably.
just rolling with Gardy in center.
When Florial's played, he's
Florial's
played center.
Have he
I
and
think
Gardner
he's got
played in the same
he's got the
lineup?
naughty. It's a great,
They
it's a
played
great
2
question.
games
We
together.
got 2 games.
He's played 2 games.
The
Florial's
Florial
only
Gardner
started
overlap.
1 game, and he was in center, and Gardner didn't play.
The Florial Gardy overlap.
I mean, we talked about Gardner and Tilo, and same applies to Gardner and Allen.
Right.
In theory, you would get Gardner as few innings in center as you can, but I think Gardner has quotes about if he's going to play and it's not Hicks, he might as well be in center. Like, he's comfortable there.
Aaron Hicks, man. Doubleheader Florial. What a game! What a gamer!
Yeah, both his games been
So
one of the doubleheader
Gardy
games.
came in to the doubleheader this year that Florial played, and Florial was in center and Gardy was in
Gardner
left.
was left. Okay.
So there's some data there.
Want to hear the lineup when
Need to.
Florial made his MLB debut as a starter?
Okay. Doubleheader versus the Mets? Or was it
Yeah,
something else?
no,
Oh,
doubleheader versus the Mets. Hell of a guess by you, or knowing. It wasn't. Seemed like you knew
Wow.
it, not guessing.
It's only one game to remember.
Do you think you could guess a position besides Florial and center? Like guess.
Mike Ford at first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Voigt
Keep
DH
going.
that day.
Voigt DH. Yes.
Did he lead off that game too?
Yes. How do you know that? Oh, because Ford.
I wouldn't have
Well,
that.
well, they had a period where they DH'd Voigt a bunch of
God,
times.
I don't know. Did Wade get a start somewhere? Second?
Started at shortstop, moved to second.
Glaber get in late.
Glaber didn't play. It was Luke Voigt led off
Yeah.
as the DH. Clint Frazier batted second as the right fielder. Brett Gardner batted third as the left fielder. Gary Sanchez cleanup. Mike Ford fifth. Miguel Andujar batted sixth and played third base, and Jordy Mercer replaced him off the bench. Esteban Florial started. Aaron Hicks then pinch hit for him. Tyro started, and Wade. Voigt, Frazier, Gardy, Sanchez, Ford, Andujar, Florial, Estrada, Wade.
Is that just a day off for DJ?
I mean, I wonder what we said on the pregame show. This was last year.
Florial season. Tyro Estrada raking this year, by the way.
But if you take out that game,
Yeah, he's lost that game.
He's had a couple now. 16 games, 343,
Okay.
410, 896.
Man.
if I remember, I think both games of that doubleheader against the Mets hurt. I think they both were pretty heartbreaking.
That
So
was just
Chad Green homer.
That was a devastating
one of the
time.
games. It was a
Yeah.
devastating loss.
And then I think they salvaged the second one or something.
Well, this one they were up.
Times.
They were up 4-0 after 2, and they lost 6-5. Chad Green got when the Mets had a tip on Chad's pitches, if you remember.
Yeah.
So Alonso homer, Smith homer, Marisnik homer, Cano went deep fly ball, and we found out afterwards that they had a tell on Chad's curveball.
Was that was a 5-game set they had? I think right. There's a doubleheader Sunday. I think they had the
Maybe.
game they won, walk-off wild pitch. They did nothing to earn it.
The next game of the doubleheader, the Yankees were up 3-2 going into the last inning, and the Mets walked them off. Rosario clipped Chapman. These are good memories. They won the next game 2-1. They won the next game 8-7, and then they won the next one 5-2. So they didn't lose the series after that terrible doubleheader.
Sir.
Wow.
I remember we went to the New Delhi for that last game because we were here. It was a Sunday doubleheader.
Ooh, wow.
Hashtag memes.
All right, everything else is good. We got everything we wanted to say. A little meet the new Yankees. To reiterate at the front, because we kind of briefly did this, like next week we'll do a full trade episode and see where we're actually at. Because I think the next 6 games really dictate if they're going to go after people that they think can actually help the Yankees this season versus if they're going to go after people that may be able to help this season but definitely are going to be part of the next couple years as well with options and all that stuff. You know, multiplayer, multi-team kind of trade situations.
Need an outfielder to get through the season.
I think a true rental, a guy that is only going to come over for 2021 season and not be on the books for 2022
It's going to be
is
impact.
completely off the books.
Yeah.
Anyone that, unless it's like, you know, Lance Berkman, where you're like just hoping and clawing you get something.
Well, that's again, that's where trade value comes into play. Like Jock Peterson, a rental, was just traded to the Atlanta Braves. It was right before the Yankees' COVID situation went out. They traded their 12th prospect, a big first baseman who was hitting 200 in single A. That's where I could see the Yankees doing that because, A, they don't have a ton of prospect capital, and B, it's just so low risk that it can look like Cashman made his move.
Not going to give up anything that'll hurt. Right, you can criticize.
Farm system's going off right now.
We're lit.
The whole
Waldichuk.
all the minor leaguers are up in Cash might want to cash in on some of that because
Maybe Bombers.
a lot of the minor league players
2.
are having great seasons. So there you go. All right.
I agree. Earlier point you had about Gardner probably going to bat 6th tonight, but him 9th or towards the bottom. Allen up would be nice.
Be
'cause
nice.
He's been doing stuff.
Because he hit.
The argument would be they like Greg Allen for double leadoff stuff, or even Wade for double leadoff stuff. Gardner does that too. So
Why isn't Gardner steal? Like
I
did
got
Allen
it
and
when it
LaMarre
used
just
to be he was
remind?
right in front of Judge.
Yeah, I got that too. But like,
Now.
When Gardy steal, it's not on base.
Does he have any?
Part of it.
Does he have any steals this year?
Gardner.
I would guess he has 2.
Guess he has a couple, right? But
Brett Gardner. He has 1 stolen
one.
base.
He's been caught.
He had 3 last year. He had 3 steals and 3 caught last year. It's 37. That ball in center the other day, I think 2
He's
years
1
ago,
for
Brett Gardner
1
catches
this
that.
year. So there's not sending him. And it's not he's in front of Judge Stan, DJ.
yeah. So put Allen. If Allen's going to try and steal, put him at 6.
Could pretty easily do a hit and run thing with him and Gardy.
How about a little
think it
hit
would
and run
work.
the other day?
Hit and run was cool.
Hit and run was cool.
I guess it's bad when it doesn't work, but that's anything.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, guys. We
See you
will
tonight.
see you tonight for the pregame show. Hopefully the lineup is, who knows, it can't be good, but, hopefully,
I don't think there's a way you walk away
Interesting.
thrilled.
yeah. See ya.
Go Yankees.